Yeah, former Roar National Champion, also 2003 IFMAR World Champion here, Billy Easton, now an engineer and, of course, team driver for Serpent, and running 2 classes this weekend, and both of them going pretty well so far.
Yeah, we only had one competing car before. Last year we tried to come out and start racing, and then this year we added a product to our line, so now you're not sitting around as often. You're getting to see the track more, which helps in your driving overall anyway. You can see the condition of the track changing throughout the day rather than such a long stint between each one. So it's a little bit more work for the driver, but, you get to practice more, run more, and experience the conditions more. So pretty happy about that, and yeah, my weekend's going pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah, you said you don't get a chance to race nearly as often anymore, so that extra track time is probably a really big advantage for you.
It helps. It doesn't hurt that I've run here before. Some of the other guys did come in and run here, but I have run here before, so that helps. And yeah, I probably don't race anywhere near as often or frequent as these guys do, but I try to get out a couple times a month if I can, and run.
And the Serpent Spider mid-motor car, still pretty new, but you started off on a really great run and had a 2 in round 1, and it's been going pretty well ever since.
Yeah, the first round, running the Serpent mid-motor car, I did try the rear motor car in practice. I ran the mid-motor car, or rear motor on the first day, and then the mid-motor on the second day. And as the track condition has gotten better, obviously, guys don't like rear motor cars much anymore anyway, but now that last year we didn't have a car when people were running mid-motor cars, so if you want to say we kind of had a handicap then, we may have had a little bit of a handicap in the condition in which we were racing. But now that we have a car, the playing field's fairly level, and yeah, I went out there, ran my first qualifier. Car was pretty easy to drive. I didn't make a lot of mistakes. I did have a good, race, I would call it, with Tanner, for the 6 minutes that we ran. And, offensive and defensive driving because you're running so close on the track. And just ran a clean race. Second round in that class, it went not as good. I was really fast. I ran a lot faster lap times than I did the first one, but I also made a mistake on my own, and then I got hit by another vehicle, and then the bottom dropped out of the bag at that point. It's like, you try so hard, you make one mistake, you try to recover from that, but then the second one, it's really not a lot you can, it's not a top 10 finish anymore, One mistake may not be a top 10 finish, 2 is definitely not going to be a top 10 finish.
And you're running short course, you said, for the first time ever at a big event. You club raced the Serpent short course truck a couple of times, but just kind of threw yourself out to the wolves here.
Yeah, when we did the development, we used a lot of other drivers to drive the truck. I drove it too, but we relied a little bit more on other people, more average people, if you will, people who don't race these events, they race in more normal conditions. So I probably only club raced my short course truck maybe a handful of times, but I never really came here and spent a lot of time. But see, in our area, that class they don't club race that class. On the club level, they run a lot of 4x4 short course. So I would always have to race with these guys. So I never really had a gauge to, do I need to work harder on the setup? Is it fast enough or not? And when I would race with those guys, it seems good enough, but not ever going to a major event, it was really difficult to know how fast you were going and how hard you needed to work. So coming here for our first real race, you can kind of see, okay, we need it to perform a little bit better, and you just got to work on the setup. And this weekend's been a thing, we didn't even, the tires that these guys are using, I wasn't even trying to use those tires in all the running. So, you got to have the right tires, and then once you know what the guys use for the tires, then you can tune the car to the tires, and then find the dialed setup for the dialed tires, and then go from there. So it's going to take some time, but it's first race, no big deal.
Well, it's been fun watching you, progressing in both classes. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, and thanks for taking the time to, come and talk to me.
Yep.